Good morning, my awesome friends and followers of this, what I would call decent YouTube channel. And to the members, thank you very much. We keep heading in a direction of no bullshittery. That's what we do. We do no bullshittery on this. And we call out things, don't we? But we have a bit of fun. It is Friday, the 21st of February. I made a lovely meal last night, actually. I'll tell you what I did before I go into the news. A little bit disappointed in Fiona, avid gardener. I'll explain to you now. So what I did was I defrosted some chicken breasts yesterday. But Sebastian was at fishing. He didn't get back till 6 last night. So I defrosted the chicken breasts. While he was away, I thought, you know what? I'm going to prepare the meal. So I got my wraps, and I had eight or nine wraps, can't remember. They needed warmed up, so I left them to the side. But I got my chicken breasts, and they were ready to go. I got a packet of mushrooms, the whole packet, washed them all, sliced them up, sliced them. They went in one frying pan. I got a red, a yellow, and a green pepper, washed them, cut them up, put them in another frying pan. So I was frying my peppers in one, my mushrooms in another. They have to get to a certain level. It takes ages for them to do, but once it's done, it's done. Then I had to go. So I left them off, went to pick up Sebastian from fishing, brought him back. Then I realised, because of my OCD, I can't cook food with this. So me and Sebastian cleaned all the fishing gear and put it away. Then I had to clean the kitchen sink, around the floor, the usual to get it right. Then after washing my hands, I reheated up the mushrooms and the peppers. But then I got the salsa sauce, because you get a packet of fajitas. I got the salsa sauce and I mixed the salsa sauce in with the peppers in one frying pan. In the other frying pan, I got the chicken which I'd made. I think I had 4 breasts of chicken, and I used meat scissors, and I sliced up the chicken and the thing and put it in the frying pan with the mushrooms, and then I added chicken seasoning. So once that was all done in that frying pan and that was done in that frying pan, I then put them in one big pot together, heated it up, and it was lovely. And then needed a bowl of grated cheese and a pot of sour cream. And I'm going to be honest, the flavours were brilliant. Anyway, I took a picture and I showed it to Fiona. What did Fiona say to me? That came out of a packet. Like a knife in my heart. I was like, really, Fiona? Put time and effort into that. Put time and effort into that. Anyway, there we go. So next time, she suggested, why don't you film it next time and let us see how you do the bit. So I will be doing that. So that's a great idea. Anyway, that's done. So, right, you've seen the thumbnail. Listen, it's true. There's a big spat going on at the minute between the President of the United States of America, Zelensky, the President of Ukraine. My Prime Minister's running around like a little girl, doesn't know who to support. He's calling Zelensky Churchill, and EU leaders are up in arms. Listen, the bottom line is this. Let's point this out. First of all, I think that they shouldn't be doing this type of spat the way it is, because it looks childish. I think Trump needs to grow up. I think Zelensky needs to grow up. I think my Prime Minister needs to go. But so I don't think what's happening is we're not seeing, oh, people will say, yeah, but Trump's showing leadership. He is to a certain degree. I'll explain in a minute. But his behaviour on social media is that of a 5-year-old. Same as Zelensky. They're all getting on like idiots. Now, the big issue here is one thing and one thing only. The new President of the United States has asked Zelensky for an itemised bill of where US tax dollars have been spent. If Zelensky can show the President, oh, the tax dollars went to here, if he can prove that the tax dollars were used in the right manner, then he will get more tax dollars from the US. But I honestly believe that Donald Trump's doing the right thing. You've had hundreds of billions of dollars. Show us how you've spent it, because I think a lot of it has been wasted and squandered. I think it's not going to what it's meant to be. Now, he's the only world leader that has asked for accountability for US tax dollars. And I think it's fantastic. And anyone that goes against that is wrong. Why should US citizens keep throwing billions of dollars at a country that says, well, I don't know where that 5 billion went, it must have lost it. And I'm telling you now, there needs to be accountability of taxpayers' money. Isn't it funny that if I don't pay a tax, the red letter, court, citizens are held accountable? Why can't countries? Don't you think it's fair that US Taxpayers know where their money's being sent. They know it's going to Ukraine to help them defeat a nasty Putin. If Zelensky can't show where this money is, then it's quite clear it's being used fraudulently. And I'm telling you now from day one, I would like to see Assets Recovery Agency or an audit into Zelensky's personal fortune after this war is over. How can a comedian, an entertainer, go into politics, and while you're in politics, while you're the president, you seem to mass this array of houses across the globe? Let's look into that. Let's make sure that taxpayers' money is not being squandered and wasted. I think the UK should do it too, and the EU, but they're all being held accountable, aren't they? The first US president in a few years. I know some of you don't like him. I don't care. You're entitled to your own opinion. What's wrong with audits? Businesses get audited. Strange, isn't it? Well, there we go. Piers Morgan jumped in the bandwagon, didn't he? Oh, and I had a pop at him. He's blocked me now. I had a pop at Piers. What did Piers say? Let me get this right. Piers Morgan says it's shocking to smear Zelensky as a fraudulent individual. It's shocking to smear him. I responded to Piers going, is that sort of like the same type of thing that you smeared British soldiers with when you accused them of war crimes, Piers? Yeah? Isn't it shocking to smear someone, isn't it? Yeah, well, he blocked me anyway. I don't care. He has no value. Yeah, but you should always call people out whenever they jump on their high horse and use hypocrisy. But yet they've done the same thing in the past, but they forget about it, don't they? Piers Morgan's the worst person in the world to say you shouldn't smear someone. Eh? How many people have he smeared over the years? Department of Homeland Security are breaching themselves to release documents about a certain Timu Prince's visa application. There's lots that are going to be released very, very soon. I think the word I hear was brace yourself. Now, I'm thinking brace myself. I don't know what he's written in those visa applications, but I'm not going to brace myself because me along with all of you know common sense. You can't gain access to America if you have a previous history in drugs, especially cocaine. So how did you gain access if you had have admitted that? You wouldn't have gained access, which means, in my opinion, he's clearly lied, hasn't he? Or the book The Spur is false, isn't it? Oh. Sometimes you can say too much and bury yourself with your own words. Yeah, shocking. What have I written here? I've written stuff down here, but I'm not going to look at it because I think I know exactly what I've written down because it's in my head. And if it's the truth, you don't need to look at your words. There should be no doubt now. There should be no doubt in anyone's mind, any rational thinker, anyone out there with common sense, anyone that's a good citizen. There should be no doubt whatsoever how evil Hamas are. To produce the bodies of babies, to kill hostages. The world has seen it. Anyone that's supporting that side of this argument now needs a minimum fine, if not jailed for a month, and if they're foreign, deported. There should be no room in society for people that support that horrific evil that exists. That's terrorism. And for those of you that forget this, let me point this out. See what Hamas are doing to Israeli people? The IRA did that to British citizens. The IRA. I sat and watched on TV an horrific crime where 2 British soldiers were beat to death, trailed over barbed wire fences, had their genitals cut off, shot in the head and dumped on waste ground. That's the evil that Hamas has today. Exactly the same evil as what the IRA had towards British citizens. blowing up shopping centres, bombs in pubs. Let's not forget what happened, and that was on British soil. Hamas are the same evil, and anyone that supports that should be kicked out of the country, in my opinion. Just putting it out there. There's talks in Germany about the rise of the far right. Let me tell you something, people. See this rise of far right? That is because of politicians. Ordinary people, grannies, granddads, mothers, daughters, sisters, brothers, mums, dads, have all complained about the influx of illegal, evil migrants being thrown and thrust in all our towns. We've asked to stop it. We've said, can you stop it? We've even asked you to vet them. Vet them. Can't vet them. 25,000 small boats have arrived on the shores of England. 25,000 since Labour took over. Being put all over the UK. Do you know what else has risen? Sexual assaults, rape, murder, knife crime, grooming. But we can't say it came from there, can we? Because that's a hate crime. It's become a hate crime to discuss hate. So when these far-right groups are on the rise, and they will rise further and further and further and further, they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because politicians have failed to listen to ordinary people with their concerns. So when politicians are complaining about far-right, it's because they're in action. Anyway, listen, thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for sticking with me. Want to point out, if you have bought any of these 2 books on Amazon, please make sure you keep leaving reviews. I look forward to reading them. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day. And remember, stay safe.